Listen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a little bit of a solo edition of Sorry in Advance tonight. Scott is on vacation, so figured I'd try and at least get something out. You know, keep myself entertained along with other people. Um, so wanted to kind of get into, which we'll get right into this. Is the Brave series over the weekend, which really kind of sucked. I mean, it started off fantastic with, the Phillies. Well, I'll say the Phillies were kicking the shit out of the Braves for, the first 7 innings of the game. And then as things seemed to get with the Braves, got a little bit interesting there at the end. But definitely, if I feel like this series showed where the team has the pieces to fill in, for especially because the fact that, like, with Harper being out, with Schwarber being out, it really was nice to see the other players step up. I mean, Castellanos has been doing great, these last few weeks, and then with Turner back, Turner, especially game one, I mean, really stepped up. Like game one, Trey Turner went 2 for 5 with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. I mean, he was half of the offense. He's hitting 341 for the year, and had 1 strikeout. Castellanos went 2 for 5. Bohm went 3 for 5. And Castellanos didn't strike out at all that first game. Every single player on the team had a hit. We had 15 hits. Stott was leading off for the time being with this too, which was I feel like everyone kind of had an idea that this was going to happen, either with Stott leading off or Turner. I mean, because either way, you could have had a left to right, right left, but they decided to kind of go lefty, righty, 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 which I thought maybe they would split that up, but whatever. I was fine with Stott leading off. I mean, like I said, he had 1 walk, 1 hit, and he scored 2 runs. So I'll take that out of a leadoff hitter. And Sosa still is doing very well. I mean, really took advantage of the playing time he's getting. And it seems like he always does. I mean, in my opinion, he's still a bench player. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say, like, oh, like he needs to start. But we've seen what happens when Edmundo Sosa starts all the time. He fizzles out. Great defensive player, but offensively, he is great in the fact that he can carry you. I mean, he will go on a friggin' offensive tear and carry you, and then he will just fizzle out and he's done. So even with Merrifield, I had to hit that game. Marchand had 2 hits, which Rafael Marchand has been fantastic. It is going to be incredible to see the decision they make with who to send down when Real Muto comes back. I think it's still going to be Marchand, just personally, because I think the team, for some reason, I don't know if it's a chemistry thing or what, but I think it's going to be, unfortunately, Marchand that goes down. Stubbs is just too well infused with the team, if that makes sense. Emotionally, like he's. I think that's. I mean, it comes down to the options they have, which I believe they both have options. So it'll be interesting to see. But Bohm had another double that game too. He's got 29, and in true fashion, the Phillies beat the shit out of Max Fried. And it can't not mention Aaron Nola's game. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. But, we had a 3-run lead. And I think what kind of sucked too was it was like every single time the Phillies scored, they gave it right back. The Phillies gave it right back. I mean, we scored 3 runs in the 4th. Nola gave up, 2 in the bottom of the fourth. We scored 2 more, make it 5-2. Nola gave up another run, and then we scored 3 in the seventh, gave 3 back in the bottom of the eighth. We won. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy with it. I love the fact too that like Jeff Hoffman seems to be coming in more in the ninth inning. And I love that he got an all-star nod too. I absolutely love that. It's a lot of things went right for that first game. Kirkland came in the seventh, gave up a hit. Alvarado, and that's the thing is Alvarado is just I don't know what the hell is happening. Alvarado 2 hits and 3 earned runs, 1 walk and no strikeouts. He got out of the inning, but like it's just he hasn't looked great at all. It lasts like week or 2 weeks. I'm not freaking out. Just thinking about it, like I'm watching it's something's off. I'm not saying send them down again like they did before, but they need to he needs to figure something out. But like I said, Phillies got the Max Fried game 1, which is great. And I guess what sucked was like it was a late inning one, like the Alvarado one. So it just kind of gave life to the Braves, which you don't want to do. I don't care if Azuna's not playing, Harris, whatever. I don't want to give any life to that team. So then game 2, we face the rookie Schwellenbach, which I even took the Phillies to just win by at least 2. I didn't realize that, Suarez is still struggling. I don't know what the hell was happening with Suarez. His last 3 starts, he has not looked good at all. Even here, like he went 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts with 2 walks. He just looks off. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's just he's not hitting his spots, if he's fatigued, if he's just if it's something with his family. I don't know. I don't know what the hell it would be with his family, but if he's just tired, if he changed something, if it's the humidity. God, like the temperature spike in the last 2-3 weeks has been ridiculous and could very well have something to do with his pitches. Maybe not getting a good grip on the ball. It could be a number of things. I think this All-Star break couldn't come soon enough with this. Give him a little break. Cool down. All-Star game's coming, so we'll see what happens with him. But game 2, Phillies lost 5-1, and it really was just like the third inning when the Phillies scored. And again, it was off Trey Turner. Like the Phillies had 7 hits, but hey Donna, how are you? How you doing? Phillies had 7 hits, but like very blah game. Like Albie singled in the first, Ozuna homered again, and then Turner scored Turner had a single to left in the third, and then that was it. Like that was legitimately it. It seemed like the Phillies just really didn't have anything going. Schwellenbach had 6 strikeouts. The Phillies struck out a total of 11 times that game, which always bothers me. It's just the amount of times that they strike out. But then, like in game 3, they lost 6-0. Offense was non-existent. And again, you were going against Renato Lopez, who, he has been a stud for the Braves. He wasn't even like really going to make the team until Strider went out. And again, like something just falls into the Braves' lap where you get another fantastic pitcher. So that kind of sucks. But Lopez goes 6 innings, only gives up 2 hits. The Phillies had 5 hits total in the game, but 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. The Phillies had nothing going on, absolutely nothing that game. They struck out 9 total times, and it just looked like shit. I don't know how else to say it. Like it was Mercado didn't look good. He gave up 5 earned runs, 3 home runs. It really was just not good. Not a good series. But not necessarily time to hit the panic button. It's really not. This was the biggest reason why it was so important to have that lead in the division, to where you have this little cushion to where, and the Phillies still performed amazingly this whole entire time that Harper and Schwarber were out. Um, I think a lot of people thought they were going to do worse than they did. I mean, rightfully so. You lost two of your best players, if not your, and one of them was your best player. But again, you had Turner and Bohm kind of pick you up and come through. The pitching stayed strong most of the time. The bullpen stayed strong most of the time, and really just kept you afloat. But like you need to kind of keep it going. Don't but let's not completely lose our ground. Exactly. Um, don't don't take your foot off the gas. Like Harper's back, Schwarber's back. I mean, Schwarber already has what, 2 RBIs tonight. The Phillies, as of now, are winning 3-0. Yeah. The Phillies are winning 3-0 as of right now. Excuse me. Harper struck out his second at bat, and Harper lined out. Whatever. But I mean, the first hit that Schwarber had, I mean, was a friggin' piss missile. Straight to left field, which was great to see, considering, just coming back, you're kind of worried. You're playing the Dodgers. It's a big game. It's a game that you really want to show all of baseball, like, hey, like, we're good. We didn't miss a step. We're fine. I would love for them not to beat the Dodgers, but I say this all the time, but just kick their ass. I mean, Bobby Miller is not a bad pitcher at all. I think he's just having a very down year. I mean, kid was a stud last year and now just not having his best stuff. I mean, for like tomorrow's game, I know that it's. Oh, I'm on the wrong date. That's why. Duh, stupid. So I know tomorrow it's Christopher Sanchez against Gavin Stone. Gavin Stone again was a rookie. He's 9-2 with a 3.03 ERA. He's very good. And then on what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 6 guy. The Dodgers don't even have who's listed, but last game, or not last game. What the hell am I talking about? Nola goes against Ghostface, according to the MLB.com. So it's I look forward to the rest of this series, because I really want to see how the Phillies do. It sucks that the Dodgers are missing people. You still have the best player possibly in baseball that you're facing in Ohtani, which it's fun to watch him. I mean, it's amazing what he does. Me personally, I kind of think Ohtani is overrated as a pitcher. Like, he's average pitcher. He's an amazing offensive player, but I can't say that I'm just like, oh my god, like he's worth all of this because of his pitching and especially his hitting. But I'm like, no, like his pitching's a nice positive. He got paid the majority of his money because he's a hitter. Like, and he will be. I doubt he pitches half of that contract. I really doubt it. I'm glad you agree. And Rafael Marchand doubles. Like, he is, wow. It is going to be so hard for them to have to send him down if they decide to send Marchand down. It really is. I mean, the kid is fighting for a spot right now, and he's showing up constantly. Not that Stubbs has been really bad either this whole entire time that he's been covering for JT. Let me see. Last 10 games? Let me see how I can do this. Garrett Stubbs. Ugh. Splits. There it is. So Garrett Stubbs, last 30 days, he's hitting 244, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and 2 doubles, and 17 strikeouts. His last 15 days, he's hitting 273. Phillies just scored 4-0. Johan Rojas singles. All right. Hey, I love that Rojas is showing up too. I love all of that. So in the last 2 weeks, Stubbs is 6 for 22, 273, That's when his home run so he's shown up in the last 2 weeks pretty much. Um, Whereas if you really want to look at let me see. Rafael Marchand splits since he has been up. He's hit 267, 3 home runs, and 5 RBIs. 2 of those home runs and 2 RBIs are in the last 15 days. Both of them, I know it seems like Marchand is really doing so much better than Stubbs, but when you really look at it, they are really playing the same offensively. I think Marchand is better defensively, but it's. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're getting JT Realmuto back, so what the hell does it matter? You know, he's going to start, but I mean, your backup is someone I think that you kind of need to rely on. I'm not freaking out about the backup catcher like a bunch of people were, 2 months ago. But I want JP to back. I miss him. I think it's going to be I'll tell you what, if Suarez kind of picks it right back up when JT comes back, that's going to be funny to see because I'm not blaming the catchers because the catchers have, with what it looks like Suarez is struggling with. I don't know if it's location, like I said, can't get a grip on the ball, whatever it is. It would just be funny if JT comes back and like it's immediately fixed. So, but anyway, 4-0 Phillies. I'll take it. The other thing I kind of wanted to get into also, besides the Brave series and all, was that the fact that Harper and Schwarber are back is a giant deal. Obviously, that goes without saying. I really thought that Harper was gonna at least like go to the All-Star game but not play, like not risk it. It blows my mind, honestly, that Harper has not been a All-Star yet for the Phillies. That makes zero sense to me. But again, I mean, that would have put it at, next Tuesday. So that's this series, this upcoming series this weekend. And then I think you would have had to tie Harper down to get him to not come back after the 10 days. After the 10-day IL. There was no chance that he was not going to, especially with the fact that you see him running around, which kind of tied into like what I talked about with Scott. Like, did the injury look worse on TV? Because he himself even said like he's never had that injury before. So it kind of just scared him, the reaction on his face, which pulling a hamstring or anything doesn't feel good at all. Trey Turner fucking grand slam, baby. Unbelievable. I got to post it on Facebook, obviously, because I don't know if anybody saw, but I'm still doing that. Excuse me, Trey Turner. Boom. Anyway, sorry. Let's go. 8-0, baby. 8-0. Like I said, see, I feel better now. I said I want to kick the shit out of this team. I want to. I want to just destroy this team. It's all good. I should have went with my gut and stuck with Phillies -1.5. Keep your foot on the gas, guys. That's all I'll say. Anyway, so back to this. Oh, by the way, hello, Caroline. How are you? The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about too, I'm going to try and keep this episode a little bit short. It's easy when me and Scott kind of get, distracted and start bullshitting with each other for like 20 minutes of the half hour, 40-minute episode. Is the trade deadline is like, what do the Phillies really need to go after? Is it, I know we're all going to I feel like outfield is a definite, obviously. But like, what are the odds that the Phillies try and pick up a relief pitcher? Or do they just go after a bench player if they feel confident with the team that they have now? I think a lot of us don't feel confident in the team that they have now. But all the names being thrown out there, like, you'll get so many different opinions of, you have to win now. You have to, you can't hold on to the whole entire farm system. You have to think, if you win now, you can't worry about 5 years from now, which I agree and disagree at times. Like, it depends on the package. I am not selling the farm for Jazz Chisholm. I'm not. I don't even want him. I don't care if he comes here. I don't think he is going to be the make or break player of the trade deadline to help us get over the hump at all. I don't. He is a incredibly similar player to Brandon Marsh, so I'm just getting another Brandon Marsh. Yes, I would love new umpires. I just feel like that's not the move that's going to put us over. I'm not saying the Phillies only make one move, but it's the options. You can have so many good and bad, you know, comparisons to all of them that anybody can make their case, you know? So like, let me see if I can bring this up. Brandon Marsh. No, not Brandon Moss. Idiot. So Brandon Marsh. Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick little. I'm not gonna include Rojas in this because Rojas is probably gonna be up, but like, show criteria. Let's see. Choose same season. Did you know that you can check the stats for players all the way back to 1871? So that's always fun. So present, share. Window, entire screen. There it is. Oh, stupid computer. Why don't you listen to, what did I do? What did I do wrong with the computer? Anyway, so here is the comparison to, here's the top three people that, or top three players that we're looking at supposedly. Brent Rooker, which WAR, I hate the stat. It's stupid, in my opinion. 77 games, 78 hits, 18 home runs, 54 RBIs. Granted, he's on the A's. So that you have to take into account at all times. He's hitting 278 with a 353 on base percentage, 537 slugging, 891 OPS, and OPS plus whatever the frick. He leads everybody on this page, including our own players, in the majority of the offensive categories. The one thing that Luis Robert has going for him right here is the 38 games, but that also is a knock on him considering the injury history. The talent is obviously there. He's got 10 home runs, 19 RBIs in 38 games. Jazz Chisholm has 10 home runs, 40 RBIs in 87. Brandon Marsh has 7 and 32, and Castellanos obviously was struggling immensely this year. 12 and 43. So the Jesus, this team. Bryson stop. Wow, I can't even talk. Good Lord. So I again, everyone can make their case for any of these players. I just, like, stolen bases aren't the make or break. Like, I have Bryson Stott and Trey Turner who can steal 30 bags each. I don't know. I keep looking and I'm like, I would love to Brent Rooker, and then I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even realize the majority of the time that he's been playing this year is at DH. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. He's played outfield like 14 games. Let me see where it was that I saw. Standard fielding, 2024. Outfield, 14 games. Yeah. I think that's getting, no, I was saying to the computer, why don't I listen to you? Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. And then home run stop. Got it. Pour it on. I mean, I'm not saying any of them would be a bad pickup. I'm saying Luis Robert is going to cost you an arm and two legs. Brent Rooker is probably going to cost you second most, and Jazz Chisholm will cost you the least. I mean, obviously Christian Pache's not getting it done. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending Rojas. I just, oh, you can see how I keep my notes together. I just, I'm weary about overpaying. That's my thing. I mean, on another show I was watching, they were saying pretty much that Aiden Miller, Carl Crawford, and Painter are untouchable. And I'm like, well, one of them is going to be asked for in every single trade. I am not trying to watch Aiden Miller play for the Miami Marlins for the next few years. I'm not trying to do it. Granted, you don't know how somebody's going to pan out in the MLB. Clearly, that's worked out with us when we traded for JT and we gave up Sixto Sanchez. But I don't see it. If we were to get Garrett Crotchet and Luis Robert, then I'm fine with, a big trade package. I I think the biggest thing too that you look at is, there's the stories that come out, and I said this to Scott because he's been talking to me a lot, just saying how, oh, like, Jim Bowden said that the Phillies are looking at, this play at oh my God. Let me look it up real quick. I apologize. I had it in front of me, and then it's just, you read so much shit in one day that it all goes away after a while. But anyway, that Jim Bowden is the Phillies are looking for top talent, such as the Luis Robert and center field and blah blah blah. Well, then you look at Phillies insider Ken Rosenthal reports that the Phillies are looking for role players and bullpen depth. And I'm just like, this is going to happen every single day until the trade deadline is over or until the Phillies make a move. It happens every year. It happens every single year, right around the beginning of July, right around the trade deadline. It's how teams get things done. It's how agents spread this shit half the time. God, more than half the time. Agents are the ones spreading the, oh, well, my player wants this. Well, I don't know. He's not really happy here. Or all the bullshit you're ever going to hear. All the rumors that aren't even true get started by agents or insiders or the people who aren't insiders or just have a Twitter account. It's, you get one thing right out of 30 and you're an insider. So, I think it's going to be interesting. I think they do try and go after a bench piece. I think they do try and, more than a starter, get somebody for the bullpen. I just think it's going to be interesting, especially with Rojas, what they do. I mean, maybe Rojas is part of a deal. That's why he's staying up. I mean, he's playing good. But if you have a chance to get somebody like Luis Robert, who, last year had 38 home runs, and they're just like, okay, who can play good defense? And it's just like, well, who's 26 years old and you have for years of control, which you would have with, Brent Rooker too. Brent Rooker's 29. It's 3 years older than Luis Robert. That will influence how much he gets traded for, So lots of questions surrounding the Phillies trade rumors, trade crap. And I think what's going to suck is it's just going to keep happening. It's not going to go away until the end of July, excuse me, when the trade deadline's over, or when the Phillies make a move, or when they don't do anything, and Dave Dombrowski comes out and just tells everyone to shut up. So it's, I don't know. I have a feeling the Phillies don't make a giant move for an outfielder. I don't think they get Luis Robert. I'll put it that way. I really don't. The one thing, and I'm not trying to put it out there, that scares the living shit out of me is if the Braves go get somebody. That would piss me off. So that would drive me nuts. I have a question. If you've seen The Sandlot, what's the only day they play a night game? 4th of July. I love that movie. I mean, you had Darth Vader with a giant dog living behind you. Come on now. It's yeah, classic movie. Anyway, so I that was kind of all I had tonight. Um, kind of a quick little quick half hour. um, but that was all I had. Excuse me. So, Donna, Caroline, anybody else who came and visited, I see I had some people come on Instagram, which is pretty cool. So thank you everyone for coming and hanging out. I asked 5 people and they didn't remember. I was so mad at them. When they don't remember, you just say amateur hour. That's usually my response for stuff like that. So anyway, thank you everyone for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday night. Phillies, it's only the top of the 5th. Plenty of time to double that lead. Beat the shit out of them. And I still remember when I said when the Phillies, when the Dodgers signed Ohtani, I was like, man, that's a lot of money to pay someone to never win a World Series. I still don't think the Dodgers ever win a World Series in the life of his contract. It just won't happen. But thank you all for hanging out. Have a good rest of the week. Thank you, Caroline. You as well. Scott will probably be back at some point. I don't know what the hell. Whenever he wants to come back from vacation. So thank you all for hanging out. Donna, have a great night. Thank you again for always hanging out. Appreciate you stopping by all the time. Go Phils.